Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to Lost Technology, a really cool little super old video game. This is from 2014, I think. Why am I showing it to you now, you might ask? Well, it was created initially in Weeb, fully Japanese, and it became quite the hit little cult classic in those circles. But its translation into English has, it's been a long and rocky road, to put it mildly. Only now is it in a state where I would consider actually recommending it, because, you see, the developer, not the actual original developer, but rather the person who translated it into English and released it on Steam, did a bit of an asshole move when he released the game without fully disclosing that not all of the factions were actually translated, and therefore, whilst they were fully playable, they were all in Japanese. Bit of a problem there. Now, however, the majority of the factions are translated, though there are still some that are not, like the demons over at Krim here, for example, I do believe are still left untranslated, which is a damnable shame, seeing as they do have some attractive blood points, most absolutely. Nevertheless, the game is currently available for $3, and you will get a lot more than 3 hours of enjoyment out of this, so I feel like recommending it now. What is it, you might ask? Well, that's a pinch difficult to describe. Dominions had a bastard child with Total War back in 2014? It's probably as close as it gets. It's relatively simplistic and yet also fairly complex. There's no building system, so I can't click on this and build structures or anything. I can't build fortresses, though that is sort of a siege gameplay. But all of these units are individual units with their own little stat lines, as you can see here, and they can also be controlled manually on a tactical real-time battle map. You can see all of these happy little waving flags. These are symbolizing the various warring factions. I think 3 have been wiped out so far. The Dragon Knights, the Gugs, the Frogs, and the Knights of Kunis have all been wiped out. Right now, the main war is going on between Alcatraz and, was it Rodina Empire? Reynald Empire, there you go. Meanwhile, I, playing as a bunch of degenerate furries, have grabbed most of the coastline, and I'm about to teach the Arabs a lesson they will not soon forget. I was allied with the Arabs up until last term, so I've also been pushing into Muscat territory, but I'm about to need to take a little bit of a detour to deal with my Arab allies. They were very helpful in killing the Lizardmen, another wiped out faction, but, well, they're gone now. The Therianthropes are a pretty cool little faction. Oh, speaking of, by the way, when I was mentioning fully translated storylines, I do mean fully translated storylines, in that all of these factions have their own unique storylines based upon the characters available in that faction. For the degenerate furries, for example, you've got Misa, a dark elf who has spellbound a demon that she really wants to bone, but she's too shy to tell him, her, it, whatever, her true feelings. The main character, however, is Shays here. He is absolutely worthless and does little more than die repeatedly. However, his childhood friend, who is also desperate for his, presumably spiky PP, is Reindeer, who is far more useful. That's still not the best character in my army, however, who turns out to be a middle-aged woman. Hands down, the best fighter in my entire army, which says something about the quality of Therianthrope troops, by the way. But I need to replenish my ranks a little bit after a particularly costly encounter with the Muscatans, so I'm going to push, you can see my total resources down here, my income. I'm going to put in some Earth Sages. I can recruit them at level 10 because I'm using Misa to recruit them, and she's very high level, so I can even recruit Teutonic Mages. I could recruit Enlisted and Bowmen, which are neutral units available in the territory that I'm currently in. However, I don't have anyone capable of recruiting those troops. The game has a pretty complex recruitment system where only certain characters can recruit certain other characters. For example, if I look at Misa here, You can see up to the top left, she can control, recruit devils and therianthropes, and she can also get the classes, which is Dark Mage and Earth Mage, and then also Yokta, which is a special exception to her recruitment rule. Yokta is her demon, this guy here. They come as a pair in the therianthrope storyline, but if the therianthropes are defeated, they will begin wandering the land so that you can recruit them. Currently, the recruitable heroes in my territory are these here. It's Cletus, Donata, and Eri. I can't recruit any of them at the moment. You can see up to the top level, you can see the affinity. So I have 20 affinity with Lion's Master, 20, 20, and 80. So I'm the closest with him, but I have got no one that I can actually recruit outright, as you can see here. Rightio then, so let's see, we've got a bunch of desert dwellers that we would like to take care of, so let's begin by declaring some attacks here. We're going to be moving these guys in. It's got a very archaic movement system where you need to open up these tabs and then move units from other tabs. So I clicked on Central Elysium, which opens this tab, and then I can move them over to the deployment screen there, click deploy, and then we head on off into the battle, which transforms us onto the real-time map. Oh, and the enemy decided to immediately retreat. Right, well, nice and easy, I suppose. Nothing particularly difficult about that, no. Let's see, do I have some reserves I really don't need right now? I kinda do. Let's move over some casters here and some dogs as well. There we go, keep a nice strong front line. You will now see that these units are exhausted, so they can do nothing else this turn. I'd kind of love to push my advantage against the muskets, but I also kind of want to take care of what's to my rear here. I do have a little bit of money, which I might be able to get a defense up and running. Right, let's see if we can't declare a war against Hellas Fortress here, and we're going to move in my main striking force, all of them video game. Right. Okay, interesting. Ah, never mind. Yep, I'm being it. Yeah. So you can see some of them are exhausted. That's why I can't move those that have recruited recently. Very well. Let's prick, press, enter then. Each turn, you will also get free level ups of units. The level up of units is equal to the average level of all your troops. So you want to be a little careful on recruiting new units, because if you recruit a hero at level 1, whilst all of your other heroes are high level, suddenly the average level of your heroes drops drastically, and your total training level drops drastically as well. I'm not going to fight. No, screw you. I like the elves way better than you. Oh, maybe we'll see a big battle here? Yes, we will. Okay, let's have a look at the enemy fighting then. We've got Reynold Empire here, and we've got Alcatraz. Alcatraz is a pretty cool faction because they're thieves and bastards and beggars. So they can recruit quite a lot of characters. You can see they've actually got a lizardman here, so they've got some lizardman warriors. They've got a bunch of pirates, got a bunch of rogues. I think they've even got a dragon commander there. Yes, in fact, they've got 2 dragons, 3, 4 dragons. So they recruited pretty much all of the Dragon Knights of Fenrir. That's pretty awesome. So look here then. This is going to be a fortress battle with the poor little bastards here being somewhat surrounded, coming in from 3 different sides. Oh, and this is one of the coolest things about this game too. There is tons of battle chatter. It's constant battle chatter, and I really love it because it lends a sense of urgency to the fight. All of the characters are talking, they're yelling, they're fighting, they're attacking, they're roaring, etc. They're crying out as they get defeated and chased off and so on. And the information that they're giving you is actually relevant. A lot of it is just random chatter, but often it's also stuff like this guy is retreating right now, so now you know that he's retreating. They might also be commenting on the battle situation. I do love the Empress of the Reynold Empire, by the way. But yes, they might comment on the battle like, we're winning, no problem, we're pushing forward. Or, we're equally matched, we can't do anything here. Or, we're just straight up losing, and so on. It's really cool. I wish, like, this is a great thing for a lot more strategy games to do. Active chatter with the units on the field. Stuff like receiving reports from the front line. Like, okay, we're under attack over here. Imagine this in like a Warno or a war game scenario, right? Like, Motostrelski reporting, we are under artillery fire, please help, something like that, you know? Or even just random comments like in Company of Heroes, where you can zoom in on a Tiger tank and he's like, yeah, Hans, the little Sherman scratched our paint job, yeah? I do love that kind of stuff. And particularly, in a strategy game like this, which actually has a fairly hefty story element to it as well, yeah, this adds a lot of personality to the game, which I really like. Did I mention the price, by the way? $3 for this video game, and it's worth that. Good God, is it worth that, definitely. Reynold Empire is not faring particularly well here. They're being driven off by the Empire, by the, oh, you can even see some petrified guys there. Yeah, Reynold Empire is not going to win this one. In fact, that was quite the little walkover, actually, for Alcatraz right there. Now, unfortunately, the game does not have anywhere near enough information on the end of battles. Like, I would love to be able to tell what kind of damage I've done, and what kind of units have done what kind of damage. Like, how many people did my hero kill? How much damage did my mages do? What spell were they using primarily? How much healing did they do? How many men did I lose? How many men did the enemy lose? All of that information would be incredibly useful, and yet it does not exist. Well, it is a game for 2014, so I guess what can you expect? And it's, not like it's ever gonna get a sequel or anything. No. Not in all due likelihood. Right, so these guys are fully rested back up again now. Do I push on to try and deal with the bloody musket faction? Honestly, I feel like my rearward forces are probably more than able to deal with what I've got to my rear here. I've got an alliance with the Reynold Empire at the moment, so I don't need to worry about them. And it doesn't look like there's really any of these guys guarding their rear, so we might as well just go in and take some stuff, mightn't we? Why the hell not? Let's do just that. Grab some territory. That'll increase my income quite a bit too. Not my fault you're not watching your border. And here we got a story event, so let's have a look at that. Riverside. None of this is voice acted, tragically, but it's all text. Consists of child soldiers. Yeah, that's the background. I can explain, okay? That's the backstory of the Therianthropes. They've been hunted by humans. The Therianthropes were peaceful. The humans arrived, started acting like humans, killing the Therianthropes with their furs. All of the adults were pretty much dead, and so now it's just the children fighting. So you are leading a child army to conquer the world. Well then. Lion's Army, which consists of child soldiers, doesn't have army regulations, but they have unspoken rules. They do have their own work. So there, Yocto and Claw are washing their clothes in the river. Yes. Vitally important military strategy nonsense right here. Contract server in good faith until her death in return for 1 copper coin. Yes, Yocto was kind of screwed over by his mistress here. What? Nani? So I'm waiting on her hand and foot, basically. I prioritize my personal contracts over the rules here. Isn't that what being bullied is? Yes, more or less. What? Nani? Well, it may look like that from your perspective. Don't you dare. Yes, Yocto does actually quite like Misa, and Misa quite likes Yocto too. I'm not going to spoil too much of the story here, so I'm just going to click through, but it's pretty decent. You know, it's a 2014 VN, basically. Don't expect anything groundbreaking, but hey, it's a story, and it's worth $3. Right. Can we actually get a proper battle up and running? I actually don't entirely know. I've kind of beaten the crap out of them. Or, well, to be fair, the lizardmen did most of the beating, honestly. Oh, let's move one of those over there. Do I have some wizards somewhere? I don't need them. Oh, hello. Yep, I've got quite a few over here, so let's do that. And we'll recruit ourselves up some savage dogs and some earth sages. There we go. That'll be a little bit of a realign due to this, so we can begin moving forward a bit more. They do have an army here, so maybe they'll fight me if I bring in these guys. Kinda doubt it. Oh, no, they're gonna bring in reinforcements. Alright, they might actually have a fight out of here. Oh, hi. Well, that was close. Right. We're going to group up, we're going to turn to face them, and we're going to rush these guys in as soon as we can as well. You'll see down to the side here, you've got the unit abilities window. Gosh darn, boxy. Right, so, they kind of caught me a little bit by surprise there, so we're going to start by summoning our fluffers, our roofers. Fluffy woofies. This is the third intrope's primary strength, the ability to summon a pretty ridiculous quantity of fluffers. We're also going to summon some earth totem animal thing here to fire bubbles at the enemy. And the Thanatropes will then be a decent little front line. Right, I would actually like to pull these guys back for now, so let's select all of them. And we're going to give them orders to use their ranged attack, which is throwing these rocks here. Whilst our fluffers do the main battle line nonsense, and we'll begin regrouping. They're wearing my fluffers down awfully thin and awfully quickly. Right? We'll send the Thanatropes in to fight melee. The Thanatropes are... they're not good melee combatants, let's put it like that. And we'll begin pushing forward now. To auto, we'll push our mages in. Right, it's not going dreadfully, nor is it going amazingly. You might notice that the battle is a little bit difficult to tell. Yes. The game certainly could use a little bit of a UI change. The ability to zoom in closer, amongst other things, would be really nice. Yes, I don't really know what's happening. You can see these waves here. These are my basic Earth Magic D flying out. I've also activated the tornadoes for a little bit of long-range support. And I seem to have murdered most of their front lines. I'm going to select my remaining melees, and I'm going to order them to get back here, whilst my mages provide slowing and support. Have them hold, and I'm going to switch them over to ranged. There we go, and now it's mage versus mage, and I should be able to win this one, I hope. Maybe. Oh, they've got one of their heroes in there. Come on, murder. There you go. Right. Now we can get to actually hitting their mages. The thin intro of mages are much like the fighters. They're not awful, nor are they particularly super good, but they do the job half decently. Speed things up a little bit. Most of their remaining casters are support casters here, so I just need to deal with their remaining damage mages, and I can push in for La Victoire. There we go. And off they go. Right, that was a hint expensive, I gotta say. Them landing right on top of my army before I got to really gather up is not ideal. The Therian tropes require numbers to do well. If they don't have numbers, they tend to be somewhat sad. As for the muskets bastards, I've got 14 squads up here versus 8 and another 6 of theirs. You can notice that you can only fit so many squads into any given area. This means that you actually have to be kind of careful about how you maneuver your troops, because you might not be able to bring all that many troops to bear. Right now, for example, I can really only use these guys, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move those in. And I'm feeling relatively confident in this fight here. They're going to bring in their heroes as well. Okay, we're gonna group up. The musket bastards have some really good range damage. So we're gonna be a little bit careful there. And try and cross this river. The terrain does affect the unit's movement speed. The Therianthropes do fairly well in hills, I seem to remember. I've got a bunch of Teutonic mages, so they're going to fire off their whirlwinds already, which is really, really nice. I'm already getting shot by muskets, though. God, musketons. Muskets are a pretty damn good faction. Now, I do have some healing here, so I should be able to out-heal that nice and simple, and then maybe... Oh, that's an awful lot of them up there. Right, we'll focus on one flank, and we will summon our woofers to take charge. And we'll move in behind the woofers, making sure that we are focusing on a ranged attack. Crush this flank if we can. And summon in everything we've got. In terms of summons. Oh god, my floofers die awfully quick, don't they? My floofers very much so die awfully quick. Alright, we're holding not too terribly. I should activate the healing magic there, and I'm gonna pull my meleeers back a little bit, because they're not really that great at it, until we deal with those knights at least, using magic. There we go. Now we can go in for manual. Manual, excuse me. Also, yes. And with melee, and we'll try and rush forward a bit. There goes my leader, Shaze again. Don't worry about him. He dies literally every single goddamn battle because his damage is kind of pathetic. His melee is kind of pathetic, and he doesn't even move that fast. I must admit, I am not a fan of Shaze. My poor Therianthropes are having a damned hard time getting into melee here. Ugh. And this is gonna get expensive, but I am beating them, and there they go, they are retreating. I would go for literally nothing but mages, were it not for the fact that the Therianthrope mages also are really goddamn squishy. And against a faction like the Muskets with assload of range damage, they're gonna die really, really, really quick. This is, by the way, not a game about balance or by any stretch of the imagination. Oh god, no. The Therianthropes are literally a child army, and they fight like one. Expect your stats to be significantly lower than those of your opposition. The average Lizardman warrior, for example, has, I think, something like twice the base hit points of your Therianthropes, and they are one of your nearest neighbors once you start the game. Yeah. It can get awfully painful awfully quickly, and you need those summons. Good god, do you need those summons. Now, the Muskets and Alcatraz are having a fight. Let's have a look at that. I desperately need to be able to get some other guys, so I can recruit some demons. Sadly, demons are incredibly rare, and I can recruit some Therianthropes, which are also quite rare. But if I can kill the Musket boys, they actually have a Therianthrope that has been mentioned previously in the Therianthrope storyline as somebody who left to explore technology and magic and nonsense. If I can kill the Musket faction and recruit her, then I might actually be able to recruit me some Muskets, and by boy, that there will start doing some goddamn damage. A horde of floofers backed up by Muskets. Yes. Yes, that'll work out just lovely. You may also notice that some of the characters are looking slightly differently. That is because as they level up, they do actually change their sprites, whilst also changing their health. Or not health, but stats. The pirates are not doing particularly well here. They're being straight up outfought by the musketry front line, which is holding up pretty damn well, whilst the muskets are beating the shit out of their rear line, but... No, Musketeers got this. It was looking a pinch dodgy there for a second. They got it. Musket is victorious. Oh, alright. We've got the dwarves and the desert people, eh? Which one will win this? Honestly, I want both of them to lose as much as possible, frankly. They do have some walls there, which can be attacked and besieged. Oh, besieged. Hit with swords. Oh, hell. No, that is besieged. By modern Total War standards, hitting a fortified gate with swords, that's entirely fine and on board. Not a problem. That is literally the modern day grand strategy standard right there. Right, the muskets are trying to figure out what to attack here. They're probably better off trying to kill those supporters before the camels break through, and the camels broke through. Right, okay, well, I have a feeling these muskets are a pinch exposed over there, in fact. Yes. Yes, this was not a particularly wise strategic maneuver by the AI, I must say. A tactical blunder, you might even insist, in fact. No. Well, he tried. He didn't succeed, but he tried. Sure, why not? I feel like they probably couldn't be invading me with all that much, honestly, but I'll send in reinforcements. Oh, God. You're mildly exposed. Let's see if we can get you in behind the walls there nice and quick. You as well. Go, 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 go. The control system is a hint derp. No, it's a lot more than a hint derp. Now, you're not going to be able to open the doors, because that would require a bit more than 2014's technology, but they can phase through the door, and hey, yeah, that's good enough. I would actually have loved to be able to intercept them right at the gate, since I've got so much AoE magic. I could probably hit them nice and hard, but I want to gather up full strength first before I do anything, I think. Right. Now, I need to figure out where the hell they are. Was that the sound of an arrow being fired? Oh, hello, okay. There we are. Throw rocks at him. Yes, he may have a bow, but I have rocks. And as you can quite clearly tell, rocks beat bow. Come on, rocks, beat bow. Ouchies. Oh, Jesus. Look at that. Yeah, the damage trade is not in my favor, is it? Yeah. Ow. Yeah, how about I just order you guys to hold, huh? Because, I feel like you really don't want to be fighting up front. Alright, they probably got around there. Oh, shit. Right, let's not move up now, then. Right, Fluffers to the field. Fluffers to the rescue. Alright, we'll have these guys hold over there, and we'll have our mages. Let them move up a little bit, make sure we're all in range. And the Fluffers will soak the charge for us. They decided they did not want to get floofed. I can hardly blame them. Getting aggressively floofed can be highly uncomfortable. Not too bad, not too bad. Anyways, there you have it. Lost Technology. It is a really, really cool game that man. No. Screw you. Oh, wait, where they were... Wait, was I allied with them? I don't think I was allied with them. I want to be allied with them. Can I be allied with them? You know what? Yes, sure. Let's be buddies for a little bit whilst I deal with the camel people. That sounds good. Was I allied with them? No, I wasn't. I would like to be allied with them. Because they're elves and they're kawaii. But yes, man, I would love to see a continuation of this style of game. It's not going to happen, but strategy games with tons of banter, tons of characters, all with their own little stories, lots of little cutscenes, real-time tactical battles with a better UI and more easy micro. Man, that would be so, so cool, but tragically, this will probably always remain an extraordinarily niche little title, but hey, you know about it now. It'll cost you $3 and you'll get a lot more than $3 worth of enjoyment out of it. So, until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.